Shrine Park, and here are two fellows. Hi neighbors, we're out here at the Carter County Shrine Park, and here are two fellows that we're going to be talking to tonight about an activity that's coming up the weekend of the 26th and the 27th of July, and we're going to be finding out tonight some of the details, and we'd like to see you out here on that weekend. First of all, this is Darvin Sturgill. Most of you in around Olivefield know Darvin. What's going to be taking place this weekend on the 26th, 27th?
Gary, this is something that's kind of new around in this part of the country right here. This is something that the Shriners has organized, and myself and Carl McEarp here, a friend of mine from up in West Virginia, he knows a lot of the bluegrass artists, and I know a few of them, and they asked us would we kind of help them out with this, and I think this is something going to be great. It's a good, clean family fun. They've got lots of room out here for camping and whatever. This is an activity that's going to last for 2 days. There'll be bluegrass pickers from just about everywhere. There's people that's called us as far away as to California on this thing, so there ought to be a big crowd of people here.
Bluegrass music has a really a larger following, and I think most people realize today.
Bluegrass fans are really loyal, aren't they?
That's right.
They'll drive. I just told you from California we've got calls, Oklahoma. These people, they travel, and they're a good family group of people, and it's just good entertainment. It really is. I hope this thing goes over successfully, and we have this every year.
Okay. So now who's sponsoring it? You say the Shriners are sponsoring this activity?
The Shriners here in Carter County are sponsoring this, and this is something that they kind of put in between their two horse shows. Everybody knows about their horse shows they have out here in the spring and fall, and this is something they wanted to have something else in here to kind of offset the time between the two horse shows. And they come and asked me last year if we could book this thing, but gee, it was too early to book, or too late to book one then. And we started last year in order to get the artists that we got now, right, Mac?
That's right.
And so this is something that's big. It's not just here in Kentucky and West Virginia and all that. These bluegrass festivals reign all over the United States. And they're a big activity. They really are.
All right. Now, what are the dates on this? I've already mentioned the 26th and 27th, but the particular times, and maybe how folks can go about acquiring tickets, or do they need to buy a ticket in advance, or what the information on that?
Well, there's several places all over town, including my store, as to where you can buy advance tickets. You can save a couple of bucks by buying advance tickets, but now the tickets will be on sale at the gate, so you don't have to have a ticket to come. Just come on out, and the tickets are for sale either for the one night or either for a weekend package. And the weekend package is a little cheaper, so whatever you want to buy, it's available at the gate.
Okay, so if they want to buy for the couple of nights, it's a little cheaper than just buying for one night, possibly. I mean, you know, if you bought them individually. Maybe you could tell us, Mr. Earp here, what's his last name again?
Carl McEarp.
Carl McEarp. This is Mr. Earp from West Virginia. Maybe you could go just over a few of the names of the people that will be out here performing during the festival.
Well, we have the Osborne Brothers, we have Ralph Stanley, Bluegrass Cardinals, we have the new Coon Creek Girls, a local group here, the Outdoor Plumbing Company, will be doing the sound and also picking for 2 days. We have Dale McCurry, we have McCurry and Parmalee, which the Bluegrass Cardinals and Dale McCurry's group, they do a combination show when both of them are here, that we can book them, you know, together. We're hoping next year that we'll have some other talent in here. We we're booking now for 92. We're hoping to have a much bigger function next year.
Well, you had some big names there. You were rolling off there in bluegrass music, and it sounds like this is going to be really a rare opportunity for people in the area or the tri-state area to come in and hear some really good bluegrass music here. And you're assembling together a good bill of names there, and I think it's a good opportunity if somebody just take advantage of it.
That's right. Also, there'll be some local bands here that I think we're going to have 4 local bands on Friday. Next year, we're hoping to fill up the card with more local talent. A lot of local groups that they're not really a big name act, but they do really good music.
Well, that sounds like you got a great program, and I feel that a lot of the people out there, if they haven't heard about it, that the program will be airing just a close time before the festival, but there's still time for you to plan to come out and be a part of it. So those times are, once again, Darvin, do you know the beginning times? It begins of evening?
The show starts at 4 o'clock on Friday evening and continues till midnight. And then the show will start at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, excuse me. The show will start at 11 o'clock till midnight on Saturday.
So you've got a big packed schedule of all this there.
Hey, Gary, let me say this too for a lot of the people that hasn't been here. Now, there's bluegrass pickers all over, and even after this show ends at 12 o'clock, there'll be a lot of pickers around here that's picking all over this ground that you can go around and talk to people. And like I said, it's good, clean family fun, and they've got lots of law enforcement here. They don't have to worry about anything like that. And it's a good place to come.
Well, if anybody's not been out here to the Carter County Shrine Park and the Horse Show Grounds area, a lot of people will be surprised to find what a beautiful area this is. They've got it well taken care of. The lawn is mowed closely. Everything, and the buildings are nice. It's we saw them over there working on a stage area. So there's a lot of people busy at work on this program, and it's just as I said a while ago, a rare opportunity, because you won't hear this many different groups in bluegrass assembled at one time.
That's right. And another thing, like if they buy a weekend pass, I think that I don't know what time this big bean dinner is going to be, but they get a free bean dinner, cornbread and beans, at 5 o'clock on Saturday. If they come around, that's one meal that they'll be here, that they'll have here free of charge. So everybody that buys a weekend pass, they'll have that meal with them.
Well, that sounds good. You can have your music and a lot of good food to eat and everything on this bean dinner, and it just sounds like it's too good to miss.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think it's time. You know, a lot of people like to go to the Grand Ole Opry and Renfro Valley and places like that, and they're great places. But this is a chance here in Olive, Kentucky, for people to gather and hear some good bluegrass music.
Well, it's a good opportunity to also support the Shriners, because the Shriners in this county, not only in this county, but I'm acquainted with the Shriners that are in this county. Mac's even a Shriner up in West Virginia, but these fellers do some great work. They really do. A lot of people don't know of the work that they do, but now with the Children's Hospital and all these things that the Shriners do, that's one group of people I truly support. I truly do.
Well, thank you, Darvin and Mr. Earp. We appreciate you being with us this evening. And we've been talking about the Bluegrass Music Festival being held here at the Carter County Shrine Park here in Olive, Kentucky on July the 26th and the 27th. And those times, once more, is 4 o'clock in the evening on Friday the 26th. And it's going to start earlier the next day at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock on Saturday. And so if you want 2 big days of music that you'll go home and have something to tell your friends about, and we hope your friends are here so they can talk about it together, then come out that weekend. That's July 26th and 27th. And if somebody would want to get information about it, is there any particular person, or you just get in touch with any of the Shriners?
Yeah, or they can get a hold of me at the store, or they can get a hold of Chris Binion. He's listed in the phone. No, his number's not listed. It's on all the brochures. If somebody just comes in, I'll give them a brochure. They can find out information from me or Chris One, because we're here all the time, and my number and his number is listed on all the posters and on the brochures that they passed out.
Okay, and so remember, that's coming up this weekend, so be sure that you plan to come out, and we're hoping to see you there. This is Gary Irwin for Cable News on Channel 5 in Olivefield, Kentucky.
Mystery pervades the spirit as you explore these underground passageways, still alive with nature's secrets from another time. An invitation to embark on a unique experience, to visit Carter Caves, one of Kentucky's outstanding state resort parks. Carter Caves in northeastern Kentucky is easily reached, just 8 miles off Interstate 64 via US 60 East. Carter Caves, 20 caverns winding beneath the forested hills of this very unique resort, promise a glimpse of ancient history. Here, nature's jewels present themselves in the form of luminous fans, pipes, and spirals in stone that have been forming over millions of years. The mysterious bat, nature's strange cave dweller, cloisters near the unexpected underground lake. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, the imagination runs wild. The Carter Caves 28-room lodge is open year-round for your enjoyment, along with 15 private cottages and 85 seasonal camping sites. Swimming, fishing, canoeing on rugged meandering Tigard's Creek, non-motorized boating, challenging 9-hole regulation golf, over 6 miles of nature trails and playgrounds contribute to a wonderful visit in this geologically inspiring setting. But the main event is underground. Guided tours, both lighted and unlighted, will take you through the exceptionally beautiful Cascade Cave to witness its 30 waterfalls. The crisscross passageways of X Cave will unfold spectacular formations, and thousands of rare bats await in Bat Cave. Your visit to Carter Caves is enhanced by the knowledgeable assistance of our recreational and naturalist staff. Much is revealed about the geology of the area, its dramatic cliffs, rock-strewn cave entrances, natural bridges, and rushing streams, as well as the wildflowers and wildlife of this section of northeast Kentucky. Special events are frequent at Carter Caves, from the annual Crawlathon for spelunkers in February to a writer's workshop and Pioneer Life Week in summer. There are Mountain Memories weekends, and mountain music galore is performed in the amphitheater. To plan your memorable visit to Carter Caves, call toll-free 1-800-325-0059. The mystery and awe of Carter Caves awaits one of the nation's finest resort parks.
Hearing the call of Kentucky, the warm summer breeze, fall-colored leaves. Hearing the call of Kentucky, pines in the snow, spring with its glow. Hearing the call of Kentucky, like a song in your heart, Kentucky State Parks are calling, calling you now.
This monster tomato you see here was grown and raised by George Blizzard, Olivefield, Kentucky. At now is the collection of trophies accumulated by one of Olivefield's, it's safe to say, one of Kentucky's finest female runners, Amanda Collinsworth. These have been accumulated over the years from different events. '84 to present has been accumulated by Amanda's sister and another fine female runner, Becky Collinsworth, correct? Becky is one of Amanda's younger sisters. Would you care to say that on camera? Sir, one with Amanda Collinsworth. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Chris.
How'd you get your start in track and field?
Okay, well, my dad kind of introduced it to me whenever I was about 5, maybe. He took me to an all-comers meet up in Fairview, I think it was. And it's kind of where it started at. And from then on, got me to here, so.
How many years have you been in it till present day?
Okay, I think this is my 8th year, so.
8 years.
Yeah.
And that's where you accumulated all your awards.
Yeah. Most of them, so.
How many places have you been going from track and field events?
I don't really know. It's a lot. That's all I can tell you.
Places.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of the pentathlon and all sorts of events. Could you sort of describe them? All the sorts of events go on.
Okay, well, first of all, pentathlon is one event confined into 5 events. Okay, and those 5 events are the 100-meter hurdles, the long jump, the high jump, the shot put, and also the 800-meter run, which is sometimes known as half mile. Okay, and however you do in these events, you get a certain amount of points, and the more points you get, the better chance you have of winning. So, and then the heptathlon is the same, only with 7 events, and the 2 events added on to that are the javelin and the 200-meter dash, and the decathlon has 10 events in it, which is the 110-meter high hurdles, the long jump, high jump, shot put, discus, the javelin, the 1500, 400, 100-meter dash, and I can't remember the last one I left out, but there's 10 events in it, and the decathlon is for the men. So,
have you how many of these have you participated in?
Well, I've participated in 3 summer national track and field championships, and this week I'll be going to my next one, which will be 4, and I went to 1 cross country national.
Okay, I've seen you've brought some ribbons and medals you've accumulated. Would you care to show and tell us a little bit about them?
Okay, well, my last year 10 and under, as 1987, I really wanted to qualify for nationals really bad and everything, and I couldn't really get there in the long jump. I didn't do that great, so my only left event was the 800. So I knew I had to run it well, so I had this set in my mind. Okay, I ran it, first lap I think I ended up in second on my first lap, and my second lap I finished, and I got, my finish time was 2:54, and I got 3rd place in it. So, and that was the 800-meter run.
Okay, 3rd place is what type medal?
3rd, bronze.
Bronze, and then 2nd is silver and gold.
Yeah,
just
2nd is silver and 1st is gold. Okay, and Bluegrass State Games, that's where you can, and they've got their different sports in this, and I competed in track and field in past years. Okay, and so I've done really well in that, and this is just one of my medals that I've gotten from it. And I got this medal whenever I was in a real down year. It was last year, in my bottom year of 13-14, and everything was kind of down for me because I didn't do that well at nationals, and I was just getting back from the long trip from Lincoln, Nebraska, to come back to go to Lexington and compete, and I won the 100-meter hurdles there. So that's what this one was. And this is This one is the national medal I just won yesterday. So, 4th place, which is really pretty good out of however many, I think there's around 30 in it. I got this in the pentathlon. And, it was at University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. And competition started yesterday, and it goes on through the week till the 28th. So, I got 4th in that.
4th in the pentathlon. Okay. It really takes a lot of desire and courage to run these. And do you have a source of inspiration or role models?
Well, I kind of started pentathlon. I got interested in watching Jackie Joyner-Kersee do heptathlon. So I figured, I'm not all that great of a single sport, a single event person. I doubt if I could do real well in one single event, but I can do well in events put together. So
it's sort of like what you miss from one sport, you can make up with another.
Yeah, kind of that way.
Okay. Speaking about role models, Jackie Joyner?
Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Okay, you can tell I'm a spectator and a very poor spectator. Is there any closing remarks you'd like to make?
Like, maybe my sister, I hope she gets to do as well as me sometime. But, this year she kind of hasn't got her attitude together yet, so.
For some of the people that'd like to start this, do you have a starting, who should they see and how should they go about it?
Well, to the school, they might be, our junior high didn't have a track team this year, but our high school did, so.
How about the elementary? Did they have?
Elementary? I don't think they had one either this year.
So you had to run with West Carter?
Yeah. So, and Coach Terry Osborne, the football coach out there, was the coach for the track team. So
they could contact him?
I guess so.
At the school. And you have to have a certain attitude for this, sports.
Well, you gotta want to win and want to practice to get better at it. So.
Okay, thank you. We've been talking to Amanda Collinsworth. So we're back again, and the rest of the Collinsworth family are also runners. We have Becky and Tommy and Timmy, correct? And they all three will be going to the Bluegrass games, right? What events do you participate in, Becky?
The 800, the high jump, long jump, and 400.
Okay, and you?
The 1500, the, I think 200, long jump and high jump. 800, 400, 200, and high jump.
And high jump. These are all in Lexington?
Yeah.
Anybody can just go watch them, huh?
Yeah.
It's open to the public, huh? Do you have any role models, guys?
I don't think you know what those are.
Well, someone you look up to in sports. Nobody? What is some of your favorite events?
Long jump and high jump.
Long and high jump. You like to jump?
Yeah.
Is that some of your best events, too?
Long jump, I think.
Long jump.
The 1500 and the high jump. High jump and 400.
If y'all won lots of events, trophies, so forth, medals?
Not really. A lot of ribbons and medals, but not trophies.
Not trophies, huh? Y'all have someone really special to look up to, huh? Have a big sister like a world-class runner, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody like to say anything before we leave?
No, not really.
Not really, huh? We've been talking to Becky, Timmy and Tommy and Timmy. Channel with all the Collinsworth running family. And this is Mr. Greg Collinsworth. Would you like to make a few comments about the upcoming events, the Bluegrass games?
Sure, Bluegrass games. First of all them running Collinsworths, I don't run anymore. I get hurt when I run. I break fingers, I pull hamstrings, and their coach seems to make a lot of fun of it when I do things like that. But yeah, the Bluegrass State games, which are coming up this weekend, I don't know how many Carter Countyans or Olive Hill people are going to take part in it, but you know, we who've been a part of the Bluegrass State Games since it started would like to encourage the people of Olive Hill, Grayson, and Carter County to get involved in the Bluegrass State Games. It's a wonderful, spectacular statewide event. It's sort of an Olympic festival held on a state level. Has opening ceremonies, guest speakers, celebrities. Was it Dominique Wilkins this past 2 years who had to take it on the chin a few times by the University of Kentucky basketball team. We'd like to see more people from the community here get involved. There's gold, silver, bronze medals to be had, and a lot of fun. They have many of the sports: swimming, equestrian, canoeing, cycling, track and field, tennis, soccer, softball. We've had a softball team in there the past couple of years. I don't know that we have one this year. Oh, and I think Mr. Harris has also shot a gun in the games. Archery?
No.
Shooting.
Yeah, shooting.
So Mr. Harris has been at the Bluegrass Games a few times. There's a lot to do. Horseshoes. Surely we've got some horseshoe pitchers here. But it's a wonderful thing, and if they can't take part in it this year, they ought to go up and see it. The opening ceremonies is Friday evening. It'll kind of give you goosebumps. If you ever got that wonderful feeling in watching the Olympics, you can get the same feeling right here in the Bluegrass State, watching the Bluegrass State Games.
So it's entertaining and fun and educational for both spectators and the people competing.
Yes, it is. For my kids and their teammates who they run on the Eastern Kentucky Striders, a youth track club from Ashland, it caps off their annual events for track and field, and they go up mostly for fun. They want to compete, they want to do well. The medals are some of the best medals they can get in any competition, but it's a good fun time for them. They've had a hard season, a hot season, and now they can just kind of lay back and see what the state's best has to offer and compete and have fun with them.
Okay, would you like to make any closing statements about track and field in general?
That's almost a loaded question. We just recently attended a dinner to open up the Ashland Regatta 10K race, and who the guest speaker was, Coach Weber, the University of Kentucky's track coach and cross-country coach, which has a very good program down there. His topic was the decline and falling of track and field. Track and field is looked upon by some people as a minor sport, and maybe rightly so in some instances, and we can understand why. But to the kids and the parents and the coaches who are really involved in it, it's not a minor sport, it's very major. The media doesn't cover it like they might a Major League Baseball game. This also is good. It doesn't put pressure on the athletes. But track and field is something that an individual can get involved in, where they can strive for individual excellence, and they don't have to worry too much about letting a team down, even though some competitions do score and they have team scoring and competition. But the thing in track and field is not always winning either, but to continually get better. That's what our coach strives in their youth program in Ashland, to continually to improve and get better. Whether it's a winning effort is much secondary to just individual improvement. But track and field is a good, healthy activity. It seems to be summer vacation for my kids every year.
Okay, thank you. This is Chris Irwin, Channel 5, Simmons Cable, Oilfield, Kentucky.
This is Jim Short for Cable Channel 5, and I'm in Calabash, South Carolina. It's July 13th, on vacation, and of course Calabash, South Carolina has the basic theme of saying Calabash, the seafood capital of the world. And they do have this theme. It's very well known. A lot of the communities have themes to that effect. You'll see a lot of restaurants in eastern Kentucky and up to West Virginia that has signs that says we serve Calabash style seafood, and that's where they get the idea of the seafood being identified with this community. This community has a theme that is spread nearly nationwide. Behind me you'll see a miniature golf course, more commonly known as a putt-putt. In our community in Oilfield, Kentucky, the city council had expressed interest in possibly building a putt-putt in the Oilfield City Park for our community. And so while I was down here on vacation, I thought I'd just take the opportunity to film some of these different courses so we can get an idea of what we could possibly build ours like. This fairway has an interesting aspect of having a star in the middle of it. It makes it a little more difficult, and it's got kind of a gentle rise. I noticed along the edging they use brick, and of course they poured their platform a little bit wider than the actual fairway, which provided for the sidewalk around the area. This fairway has an interesting approach to it. It's got kind of built on a hillside, and you can see you tee the ball off fairway. They're approximately 30 foot long. You can see the area where the ball would go down in, of course, is flat, but looks like it'd be a nice challenge. This is somewhat of an elaborate type putt-putt. It takes up quite a bit of area. You can see some people there playing the game. Notice the fairway there that's got kind of a rolling hill. There's my wife and daughter. There's two buzzards overlooking the golf course, or the putt-putt. That might be interesting to notice they've got a rather elaborate system there. They've got a waterfall. You can see the lady there just what you just saw on film was what's referred to as the sand dunes, the dunes that protect these buildings from any ocean waves or any storms. Now, if you notice at the top of the crest of the dunes, there's a special plant. And this plant is planted for a purpose. We're going to zoom in on this plant. Okay, that plant that we just now showed you was it's a plant called sea oats, and the purpose of planting sea oats along these sand dunes is that the sea oats, the roots of these dunes will actually grow 18 to 20 feet, and they form sort of like a network along the dunes, thus holding the dunes together. The sea oats, the North Carolina state law is that it's illegal to pick the sea oats. Of course, I guess that's the purpose of that is, of course, keep the tourists from harvesting the sea oats from the dunes. We'll go up on a little crossing here and take a good look at the ocean. And we're going to demonstrate a little bit about shrimp fishing. You notice these sea oats, they look very similar to just regular oats, but they're specially grown for this area to hold the sand dunes in place. They really look beautiful against the North Carolina sky. This is the beach area on Ocean Isle. It's an island off the coast of North Carolina. See a couple of kids down there with some nets. They sell a lot of those nets. Small fish and shrimp. There's a couple of people out in the ocean swimming. This beach area, as you can see, is a real nice, wide beach. It seems to be very clean. It's a very nice, clean beach. This island is approximately 30 miles up the coast from Myrtle Beach. And you notice there's a high-rise right next to the condominiums, and it's called Ocean Point, and it's a somewhat of a real nice, classy high-rise building that they rent to people, or some people actually own separate units. This area over there is called the Channel Side. It's an area in which a lot of people do fishing. When the tide's up, the water backs up into these areas and they get a chance to do their fishing. And you can see some real attractive beach houses. These beach houses rent usually by the week. The average rental is approximately $800 per week. We're in Ocean Isles, North Carolina, and you just heard an airplane start up the engines, and I'm going to ask Rachel to zoom in on to film the plane taking off. That's a couple of small aircraft that's on the mainland of Ocean Isles, North Carolina. And what they do, they charge you $10, and you take a they charge you $10, and you take a aerial view of Ocean Isle, which is above Myrtle Beach, about 25-30 miles above Myrtle Beach. So what we're going to do in a few minutes, we're going to get in one of these aircraft, and we're going to film Ocean Isle, North Carolina. We're going to film from one end of the island that was taken away by Hurricane Hugo all the way to the west end, which is really the best part of the island. And on the west end, you're going to see Sunset Beach, and you're going to actually see this area from the air. And if you're planning on taking a vacation to the beach, we highly recommend this island. We're taking off at Ocean Isle Beach in this rattle-trap plane, and we're going to go along the beach, so we'll get some good film footage of Ocean Isle Beach and possibly some sections of Sunset Beach. We don't actually leave the ground here.
Ocean Isle traffic, Skyline 03 Romeo, departing 24 Ocean Isle.
get you out in the back first, and we'll just pull that lever back and watch your head and your step as you. Okay, we'll let you out. I had to get her so we could park the body.
someday. And I'll join in with heaven's rejoicing. After I've made that crossing
I'm at a section of Ocean Isle, North Carolina, called Tubbs Inlet, and it's an inlet from the ocean into the sort of the causeway or the mainland. You can see in the previous filming we crossed the huge bridge. It used to be a drawbridge, but they made a huge arch bridge across this area. And what we're going to do, we're going to demonstrate today for you. First off, this is the bait that they use in this inlet, and it's shrimp. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate two things right now. I'm going to demonstrate one, when you buy shrimp, you're going to buy it, or if you catch it live. It's pretty easy to catch with nets. They just pinch the head off the shrimp, like so. And on the bottom of the shrimp, you can see the shrimp legs. You got to break open the legs. You break it open, and then of course you just take and squeeze the shrimp out. You roll this in meal, the flour, just like we do our regular fish, and you deep fry it, and you got shrimp. But we're using bait shrimp today, and we're going to demonstrate today how to catch a fish called spots. And the spots are what we would refer to in Olive as maybe bluegill or some kind of panfish. And I'm doing this for the sake of some of our more notorious fishermen, more commonly called Arnold Greenhill or Tom Lakins. These guys need all the help they can get in learning how to catch fish. So this show is dedicated to those two fellows, Arnold Greenhill and Tom Lakins. So Arnold and Tom, we're going to show you how to catch some spots. Earlier this morning I caught a fish. It looked like a bass, but it had spots on it, and it was I found out later that it was a spotted salmon, and it's we're getting ready to cook it tonight. So hard telling what you'll catch out here. So we're going to do some brief filming, and I'm going to show you how quick and what a good fight and what good action that these spots put forth. So we're going to move on down to the dock. The biggest mistake that people make when they're going fishing near the ocean or in the ocean is that they'll buy a big ocean fishing rod and they'll put a huge hook. You don't want to do that. Use your regular freshwater rod. Use a number 6 hook, and there's that same piece of shrimp that I just skinned apart there to demonstrate for cooking. But we're going to use shrimp for bait. In our community, shrimp is rather expensive, but in this community it's about $1.25 a pound, so it makes for good cheap bait. So we're going to just be filming here, and I'll have my daughter just to continue filming, and we're just going to show you how fast these fish hit. Now cast out there, we're not sure what's going to happen, but when these spots hit, they'll hit very similar to the way bass will hit it in our community. They'll hit fast, they'll hit hard, and they'll just swallow that hook right on down. Certain types of times of the evening seems to be better when the tide's low. This area here doesn't have a whole lot of water in it. The tide, we're approximately 4 hours past high tide, so the tide's going back down, and we're going to try to catch it here in just a few minutes. Let's get a action shot here. Action. Okay. Oh, got a hit there. Hit it. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. He's coming. He's taking it, he's taking it. Got him, got him, got him. Now look at the action of that rod. Look at the end of that rod. Now that little fish, and it's not a real big fish, but look at the action, look at that. That thing has really got the action. Now look, wow. Look at that. Here he comes in. Bring him in here, Rachel. Bring him in here. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is a real treat. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what kind of fish this is. This fish is a round fish. Let's get a good close-up of this fish. You got to be careful in these fish because every one of them, every last one of them has got teeth. And you got, you know, of course I've been fooling with them long enough to know. I think this might be what they call a mullet, but they've got teeth and they'll bite you if you aren't careful. But ow! But you see, look at that. That's a weird looking fish. Look at that. Now we'd like to have our viewers on Channel 5 to just tell us what kind of fish is that. It's not a muskie. Certainly not a muskie. But we're gonna fix him up here now. Cut him off. Fish is round, made like a cylinder. Okay, now we're gonna put another shrimp on there. This time we're gonna try a little different approach. And we're gonna try putting the leaving the hard part of the shrimp on. I'm gonna try that. So we'll cast out here and just see what kind of action we get. Okay, gonna cast. You can see the water's a little shaky, a little bit overcast, not bad. Throw it out, and just a lot of sea fish will come up in this inlet. Like I said, mostly what we've been catching has been a small panfish called spots. I would rather catch the ocean trout or the spotted trout because they skin up a little bit better and they're naturally a little bit bigger. So we'll just continue to fish. Okay, got a hit. Got another hit. Something hit it up the way there. He's taking it. There he's taking it. Watch the end of the rod there. Watch. He's taking it. He's taking it on. Here he goes. Here he goes. He's going out to the deep part. Just playing him a little bit. Watch. There we go. Oh. Man. Look at that rod. Look at that. The rod jumped gear just now. Very well could be a spot because those little fish just put up a tremendous amount of fight. Here he comes. Here he comes. Okay. Okay. Now you can see, just by bending the rod, you can see what kind of fight that these... Now, what we have here, this is called a spot. And this is the equivalent to a bluegill. Now you've got to be really careful with these little birds because you see these fins here? Those things will absolutely, and they try to twirl around and they'll try their best to stick these burrs in your fingers. And but I've learned just through practice to kind of watch them and keep them from sticking that. Ow! Oh, lost him. You got me. Full shrimp. Now bear in mind, I'm using a number 6 hook. Got a small split shot. If the wind wasn't blowing, I wouldn't even have to use split shot. So we're going to give her a try now. Got another. Here he goes. Here he goes. Got him. See him taking it? See him taking it? Okay, he's taking him right on out. Oh, he's working on it. He's working on it. You can see how ferocious these fish are once they get on the line. You pretty well got them. Arnold Greenhill and Tom Likens would even be able to catch fish at this inlet. So we're gonna give this baby a try. Hopefully he's taking that shrimp. Got him in good shape. Getting ready to set the hook now. Oh, he's set. Oh man. Oh, you hear those gears are grounding? I don't know if I can get him in or not. I don't think I can get him in. Like I say, those little spots. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll tear up a rod and reel. Now this is a pretty good size one. I don't know if that's a spot or not. Let's see. Yeah, that's a spot. He's a nice one. Nice one. No, this is a different kind. Not sure exactly what kind this is, but I do know something about this fish. It's a whiting. It's a whiting. Sometimes people will call them a blues or something like that. But this fish has a bone-like structure for a mouth. And you can see its mouth is as strong as a pair of wire pliers. I mean, you don't want to ever get your finger in its mouth like that right there. So you can see. Nice fish, nice little fish, good tasting fish. But look at that bone-like structure on its jaw. All these fish have teeth, and that's unusual. So we're going to pull that hook out. We're going to keep this one. But I'd like to just show Arnold Greenhill and Tom Likens how this is performed. This is really good fishing at this inlet. We'd recommend it to anyone. Okay. Now you can see my daughter Rachel, probably one of the more amateurish fishermen in the Oliveville area, just made her cast. Fish. Beautiful. Beautiful bird.
Do you have to pull it in some, or do you?
Okay. Would you get a hit?
Yeah, I got a hit. Nibbling around though.
Trying to take it now?
He touches it every once in a while.
Now this area again is what they call Tubbs Inlet. It's an inlet right from the sea. You can see the nice beach houses right there. Place where we're staying. It's called Ocean Isle West Phase 2. Here's a place called Ocean Point. It's this nice big high-rise that you can rent a room. On one side you've got the beach, the other side you've got fishing. You've got the inlet here to do some nice fishing. Or if you've got a small boat, you've got the individual docks that you can go all through this marshland. You can get catch crab meat, or you can catch clams, or maybe even do a little bit of shrimp. Okay, we got a hit. Got a hit. About ready to set him. Got a good one. See if he's on there. Bring him in. You got him?
Believe so.
Bring him in. Bring him in. Wow.
Guys, look at that. Oh,
Bring him up there. Oh, wow. That's a...
what is that?
I don't know. Hold him up. And let's get a close-up of him. That's a complete different one. It's a...
That's the nice thing about fishing in the ocean. I mean, you find different ones all the time instead of just bluegill.
Right. It looks like a whitefish. It looks like it's a pretty nice fish, so hit pretty hard, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gosh.
Successful fishing. Get a good close-up here.
You have to tell the name again.
Okay, you hear him? And he is a grunt. Now he should be pretty well gone by now. And I've got to get this hook out of him. Oh! Okay.
That fish's name is a grunt.
This is a grunt because he grunts. He makes a sound. Real good eating. Real good eating. But he got real strong jaws. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that hook out of there. Oh! Turn the camera off.
They go through, and this is called our dribbling station. They work on dribbling skills with right and left hands. This station is called our blocking first and second graders so that they can reach the rim, and they've been doing real well this week. This is the defensive slides. They're learning defensive positioning, how to use the feet to play defense all the way up the floor. This station, we're teaching them how to set a screen and roll back to the basket. This station is, they're working on footwork, footwork drills, jump rope, and we have a stair climber that they work on. again at the foot drill station. This is the afternoon group. It runs from grades 7, 8, and 9. This is the second day for this drill. On Monday and Tuesday, they had different drills, and Wednesday and Thursday they switched. This is the hot shot and free throw station. This is they are practicing for contests that they compete in every single day. Each spot that they shoot from counts as different points, and we total it up at the end of 1 minute. This is the dribbling station again. They have blinders on to keep them from looking down and going through the cone. This is setting the screen, rolling back to the basket. Defensive slides. Kimber. Harry, right there's one of them. Somebody read out the Kimber. Here, I said, Lori, take her over there, take her over there.
What all? What's the worst thing I've ever done? Whisper. What is it really about? When did it happen?
Lewis, you got to get him. Stay with him. Just a little more. A little more push. Go. Left eye.
Fine. It's a secret. And Chris. And Bill. Oh, Lord, I'm not. I didn't say a word. What? She said I think today was good. Except the part where you got to exit it. Because you're rich as shit. We got to the part where you said, I want to go out on second deckers. That's a lie. Yes, we didn't go out. Amber. Tabitha. I thought you said what I was doing. I thought you said what I was doing. What y'all thinking? I'm getting
Whoa.
What was the most enjoyable station you went to all week? No, not you girls. The campers.
Right.
What? Stephanie Cousins was the most. Who? Steph was the most enjoyable.
Ask her who's the hardest.
Which station was the biggest heartburn?
Tracy.
That
means they made them work.
They made you work a little harder. And the boys too. We had a first this year. We had a total of 41 girls out to our camp and 3 boys. And that was the first camp that we've had any boys in our camp, and we've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you would please, as I call your name from the morning station, if you would come out, and we will present you with your t-shirt, your camp t-shirt, as compliments of Greg and Ann Greenhill at the Valley. Happy Mark.
Turn it off a minute.
Remain till the morning session gets through. Caroline.
Don't tell her smack it. No, she do it worse.
Emily Tackett. Heather Maggart. Brooke Rogers.
Yeah, Brooke! Brookie baby!
Megan Hillman. Myra Gearhart. Mariah Harmon. And Amy T. Hart.
forgot Megan. What about Megan?
This is the morning camp. Now, through our contest throughout the week, the finalists were grades 1 through 3. In the hot shot was Mariah Harmon, Simmons Patrick, and Megan Hillman. The winner of the hot shot contest for the week was Mariah Harmon. And the finalists for the free throw competition, also Mariah, Emily, and Megan. The winner was Mariah Harmon. The contest for the finalists of the grades 4 through 6. The hot shot finalists, Candy Brown, Myra Gearhart, Kara Lane, and Brooke Rogers. And the winner of the hot shot was Myra Gearhart. I've got too many Mariahs, Carlas, and Megans out here this week.
You don't have any idea what the last name is?
The finalists for the free throw contest. The finalist was Candy Brown, Brooke Rogers, Heather Maggard, Myra Gearhart, Amy Dehart, and Christina Carroll. The winner of the free throw contest was Candy Brown. The one-on-one final. The two finalists, Candy Brown and Myra Gearhart, and the winner was Myra Gearhart. We also had some team competition for the youngsters in the morning session as well in the afternoon. The winning team, grades 1 through 6, this was a combination of all of the young ladies. The winner was the 5 winners, which you will receive a water bottle. Candy Brown, Amy Dehart, Brooke Rogers, Mariah Harmon, and Christina Carroll.
It's Saturday morning, early Saturday morning. The sun won't be fully up for another 30 minutes. However, this typical suburban delivery office is about to become a very busy place. Throughout the night and into the early morning, postal workers have been busy sorting and distributing hundreds of millions of letters, invoices, circulars, catalogs, greeting cards, magazines, and packages. Mail from real estate agents, local merchants, major retailers, charitable organizations, community service groups, universities, well, you name it. And of course, it's happening everywhere, all across the nation, in tens of thousands of post offices, big and small. 500 million pieces of mail every day. mail moving from and to more than 115 million homes and businesses spread across 3.5 million square miles. It's hard to visualize all the tire tread and shoe leather that this great enterprise requires. But look down any highway, road or avenue in any city, town, community, or neighborhood, and we'll be there. Every home, every business, every day. Hey, that looks good, honey.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, hi. I'm John Harper. I'm an employee of the United States Postal Service and one of its 240 million customers. You know, when Congress chartered the United States Postal Service, it didn't think small. Maintain universal and uniform service, it said. Charge a fair price. And price it in a way that's fair to all. Oh, hi, good morning, Dan.
Good morning, John. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, just great.
By the way, is your dog Max out of the hospital yet?
Yeah, we sprung him yesterday.
That's good stuff. You know, chasing cars isn't healthy.
Hey, you know, Max has been dreaming about chasing cars his whole life. He just never caught one before, did you, boy? Say, how did you get out of the backyard? Vicky's not gonna like that. Oh, Max. Anyway, I've been working for the Postal Service for, well, almost 25 years now. And, you know, this simple thing that we call a mailbox still amazes me. A mailbox is about as low-tech a device as you can find. Yet, for all its simplicity, it is a channel into and through one of the most amazing communication and distribution networks in the world. It's a network of people and equipment, facilities, vehicles, that's so much a part of our lives that, well, nearly all of us just take it for granted. That's probably the way it should be. Okay, Max, let's go inside. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Atta boy. Ah, what a nice day. All right, Max, let's sit right here for a little bit. Atta boy. Okay. No, Max, not for you. You know, some of us are already familiar with some of these issues. For example, the fact that the Postal Service no longer runs on tax money. That's right. Mailers, not taxpayers, pay the full freight for postal operations. However, misunderstandings still persist about how mailers pay, and particularly about a class of mail that pays its own way and contributes substantial amounts toward the fixed costs of the Postal Service. I guess the best way to illustrate that would be this newspaper. Oh, good boy, Max. All right, thank you, Max. Oh, it's all wet, Max. You drooled on it again. Anyway, this is a newspaper, and this is advertising. No surprises. No one expects one without the other. And everybody knows that this would be a lot more expensive if it weren't for this. The same is true for magazines, television, radio. It's also true about the mail. You see, by creating a wider, broader revenue base, well, this advertising mail helps to lighten the load. In other words, this first-class mail can cost less because of this mail. Let me illustrate. Now, today I received a total of 8 pieces of mail. Here's a magazine, our church bulletin, blank checks from our bank, something from the American Cancer Society. Oh, an invitation to our family reunion. Yeah, and I've been expecting this. And a bill from our veterinarian. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh. An enormous bill from the veterinarian. Oh, Max. Anyway, I received 8 pieces of mail today. Now, it took my letter carrier, Dan, about a minute to walk from my neighbor's house over here, select the mail addressed to me, and make the delivery. Keeping in mind that time is money, imagine what it would mean if I'd received only 1 piece of mail today. Still would have taken Dan about the same amount of time to walk from my neighbor's house, select the mail belonging to me, and make the delivery. However, the cost of that time would now have to be absorbed by the revenue from 1 piece of mail and not 8. But whoa there, you see. Postage for advertising mail doesn't cost as much as postage for first-class mail, right? And in fact, in some cases, it can cost substantially less. So if it costs less, how can it be carrying its fair share of the load? Well, the answer lies in how advertising mail is prepared and presented to the Postal Service by the mailer. Here, let me illustrate. Let's compare the handling that this circular required to the handling required by this invitation to my family reunion. After my aunt addressed and stamped her invitations, she probably dropped them in a street collection box near her home. Fine. For her, that was the end of the process. But for the Postal Service, it was just the beginning. My invitation had to be collected, then trucked to an area mail processing facility, where it was culled, canceled, and prepared for sorting. From there, it traveled to an optical character reader, which, because the envelope was handwritten and not machine readable, passed it on to a letter sorting machine, where a clerk read the zip code and directed it to the city of delivery. Later, in the wee hours of the morning, it was sorted again, this time to the actual delivery route. And finally, it was consolidated with other mail and trucked to the post office of delivery, where it was distributed, sequenced, pulled down, and delivered. And all for the price of one first-class stamp. And that was the handling on a letter mailed locally and delivered locally. Consider what's involved when a piece goes from coast to coast. So if it takes all that work to sort and deliver this, well then, how can this, which was delivered by the same letter carrier on the same day at the same time, pay its own way when it costs less to mail than my aunt's invitation? Well, it's as simple as this. By pre-sorting their mail and by presenting it to the Postal Service according to certain guidelines, the customer eliminated a lot of the work that the Postal Service would normally have to absorb. For the Postal Service, there was nothing to collect, cull, cancel, sort, or resort. And at the Office of Delivery, there was nothing that the letter carrier had to do to prepare the mail except merge it with other mail of similar size. So, you see, advertising mail costs less because it costs less to handle. Anyway, the point is, all advertising mail contributes a percentage above and beyond its handling costs. See, every year the revenues from advertising mail contribute well over $1 billion toward the cost of purchasing, constructing, and maintaining the vast network of buildings and vehicles, machines that we need to keep the mail moving. And because that money comes from advertising mail, well, that means that those costs don't have to show up in the price that you and I pay for a sheet of stamps.
Honey, I've got to get going. When the mailman bring us?
Oh, there's some sales over at the mall, and your real estate magazine came
Great.
in. And we got the invitation we've been expecting to the family reunion.
Good. I'll look at the mail later.
Okay.
Honey?
Yeah?
Be nice to Max today. Yes, Max. And when you feed him, be sure and warm his food. You know that he doesn't like it cold, okay? Bye.
Bye.
And keep Max in the backyard. Bye.
Max, what have you been telling her? Blabbermouth? Well, anyway, you know what Vicky said just now? I'll look at the mail later. You know, it makes me think about the first of 3 people or groups of people that I'd like you to consider the next time that you reach into your mailbox. First, think about yourself. Advertising mail, while helping to hold down the price of postage, is among the least intrusive forms of advertising that you can find. You can look at it now or later or never. Second, think about the local merchants, professionals, small businesses in your community. A local merchant or professional will often find that television, radio, newspapers cast far too wide a net and are priced out of reach. Without direct mail, they simply couldn't get the word out about their products or services. And third, think about the nation's charities. You see, hundreds, possibly thousands of public service organizations, big and small, depend heavily on direct mail to raise the funds that support a long list of worthy causes. Well, that's quite a bit to chew on. Oh, I'm speaking metaphorically, Max. Yeah, M-E... Look, Max, look it up, will you? Listen, I gotta go. It's feeding time. But please remember these few points, if you will. Advertising mail pays its own way, and it contributes more than $1 billion a year toward the fixed costs of the Postal Service. It helps to hold down the costs of other classes of mail, and it requires less postage because it requires less handling. And also, it can help keep a guy out of the doghouse sometimes. I'm going to call Vicky and spring for lunch today, since I have this 2-for-1 lunch coupon at that nice place near our office. Well, what do you think about that, Max? He thinks that's great, and it... Yeah, can we eat now? Well, of course we can eat now. All right, Max, come on, boy, let's go inside. Come on. Attaboy. Okay, inside. Okay, Max. Oh, Max, come on. What do you mean? That's not what Lassie eats. Oh, what if the can's been in the refrigerator? Look, all right, I forgot. Well, warm it up yourself. I don't care what you tell Vicky. I know she told me to take it out of the refrigerator. Well, I forgot it. I've been busy. Listen, I got other things.